and welcome back to another bookish video. So today I'm going to do my May wrap up, but just like in my June TBR that I literally just posted and you can go watch here if you haven't seen it yet, I did want to take a moment at the beginning of this video and just let you guys know that if you are one of my Black friends or viewers, I'm standing with you and you are in my heart. I'm thinking about you and doing everything I can to vocalize not only I'm not racist, but I am anti-racism. And that's what we as white allies should be doing during this time. So just like in my June TBR, I'm going to be linking below places where you can go ahead and donate. Anything you can helps. I know the pandemic has kind of hurt a lot of our wallets. People that I know have lost their jobs and are suffering from the effects of COVID-19, but anything that you can definitely help. So I'm going to link those resources below. I just think it would be a little bit tone deaf if I didn't touch on that. So I just wanted to let you guys know about those resources that are available. But let's get on to my May wrap up. So I ended up reading 14 books this month, in the month of May. 2 romances, 3 contemporary fiction, 2 horror, and 7 thrillers, because I'm me. So actually 12 of these books were by female authors, which usually happens. Like 90% of the books I read are by female authors. I don't know why. It just happens that way. Couldn't tell you, but then the remaining 2 were by male authors. And I ended up having 0 2-star and 1-star reads. Thank God, it was a great reading month, and I actually only had 3 3-stars. I had 5 4-stars, and I had 6 5-star reads. Hello? Yeah, May was a great month for finding my new favorite books, and I'm so excited to share those with you. So first, at the very beginning of May, I read Where the Crawdads Sing by Delia Owens, and this book is a 5-star read. It's one of my new favorites. It absolutely wrecked my soul. I was expecting a courtroom thriller mystery, and I got so much more. A romance, a coming-of-age story, a heartbreaking tale of growing up experiencing prejudice. It's absolutely amazing, and I highly recommend this. I know it's super popular, so everyone's like, okay, we've already read it. But if you haven't, definitely pick it up. Next up, I read, oh my God, this book is so heavy, I swear it weighs 20 pounds. Next up, I read Night Film by Marisha Pessl, and it was awesome. This was another 5-star read for me. I was super scared of this book because not only is it long, it's 600 pages, but it's heavy. Like, it's physically like hard to hold up. But I finally got around to reading it, and I'm so glad I did. It has like cool things in it, like these kind of pages where it gives you information about like the mystery, like websites and archives and photos and things like that. So I really enjoyed that aspect of it. The story was like so trippy. Like, it was very journalistic, which I really liked. And I don't usually like that in a thriller, but the characters in this book were very polarizing but engaging. Like, I just wanted to know what this man was gonna do next, so I kept reading. And the payoff is crazy. Like, the middle to end of this book, I don't even know how to put into words. It makes you feel like you're going insane. So if you like being terrified, I would definitely recommend that. Next up, I read Sadie by Courtney Summers. This is a super hyped thriller mystery, YA, and I'm sorry to say, it did not measure up to all of the hype for me. I was expecting a really impactful, like, pow kind of ending, and I just unfortunately didn't get it. So yeah, I think this was a 3-star for me. I really did enjoy the way that they handled the more sensitive issues in this book, like sexual abuse, but I don't think the characters were fully fleshed out. A lot of them seemed very stereotypical, and I don't think that's always a bad thing, but in this case, I don't know, I really liked the character of Sadie, and everyone else kind of felt not fleshed out, if that makes sense, and the ending didn't feel that way either. So, sorry to say, if you like Sadie, it was just meh for me. Next up, I read A Man Called Ove by Frederick Bachman, and I absolutely loved this book. It had me rolling. This book is so funny. Like, the main character, Ove, is just this crotchety old man, and he's hilarious, and we all know somebody who is like Ove, and it's basically the story of his neighbors bringing him out of his shell, and it is so endearing. And if you need something like a pick-me-up right now, highly recommend this one. Then I read In 5 Years by Rebecca Surley. This is actually the romance pick for the Weeby Book and Book Club for June, so I'm super excited to have a discussion about this. I have so many thoughts. I did not expect the turn this book took, and if you told me about it, I probably would think, okay, that book's not going to be for me. This book is for me. It focuses a lot on friendship and made me really think about the friendships that I have, and broke my heart and made me cry. So, not what I was expecting, but completely surprised, and I fell in love with this book. Next up, about halfway through the month of May, I read my 5 thrillers in 5 days, and I made a whole video about it, and if you missed it, I will link it below and right here. So go watch that to see my thoughts on all of these. Really quickly, I will just go through my rankings. So Pretty Girls by Karen Slaughter got 5 stars for me. It is my new favorite thriller. Wife Between Us, not the biggest fan, gave it 3 stars. I Found You by Lisa Jewell. It's Lisa Jewell. I mean, come on, 5 stars, easy. The Guest List by Lucy Foley really took me by surprise. Super atmospheric, 5 stars. And Blood Orange by Harriet Tice was a 3-star, kind of meh read for me. But if you want all of my in-depth thoughts and reading vlogs for all of these books, you can go ahead and watch my 5 thrillers in 5 days video. So after I filmed my thriller video, I needed kind of a pick-me-up. I didn't want to hear about murder anymore. So I read Maybe in Another Life by Taylor Jenkins Reid, and this was a super interesting contemporary romance. So basically, this girl, what's her name? Hannah, right. So basically, Hannah is moving back to her hometown, and she runs into her high school boyfriend in a bar. And it basically explores the 2 storylines of what would have happened if she went home with him, and what would have happened if she went home with her best friend and just ignored him and said whatever. And it plays out both storylines, and it just leaves you like wondering, like, which is better? The grass is always greener. Is it though? Which is better? Like, what should she have done? And you don't really know what she has done. I feel like I'm giving this away. But it also kind of explains that on the back too. So maybe this is not a spoiler. I don't know. I think the back kind of explains exactly what happens in the story, but I really enjoyed this concept in a romance. It was a light, fun read, and I gave it 4 stars. Then I picked up Bird Box by Josh Malerman, and this was a super short read. It's less than 300 pages. I really enjoyed the Netflix adaptation, and I wanted to see if the book was better, and I'm happy to report that yes, it is. There is actually so much that happened in the book that they didn't put in the movie. And I don't know if they just didn't have the budget, but like, it would have been awesome. Hello, the Seeing Eye Dogs? Where were they? I need dog characters in movies and Netflix. I know you got the money for some trained dogs. So yeah, I really enjoyed this book. It made me scared, even though I knew it was coming. I knew it was a happy ending because I've seen the movie, but it still scared me and like kept me on the edge of my seat. So Really highly enjoyed this. I read it in one night because I just could not put it down. And the last book I read in the month of May was If Only I Could Tell You by Hannah Beckerman. This is about a family. So there's a mother and her 2 daughters, and the 2 daughters are estranged from each other, but both of the daughters each have their own daughter who are around the same age. So the cousins have never met each other. The mother's in distress because her daughters haven't spoken for like 20 years or something like that. And it's about how and if they mend those relationships, and kind of the big mystery around what actually happened to make them stop speaking. And I really, really enjoyed this. It was very emotional, but it didn't push me to tears. So I didn't give it 5 stars, I gave it 4. But I loved the characters, the kind of interactions between the characters, the way that they were written was really easy to understand and visualize, which I always enjoy, really visual writing. And imagery, especially in my contemporaries, sometimes they can lag a bit, and this one did not do that at all. And I really enjoyed the multiple perspectives because these characters really struggle with communicating with each other, and kind of getting the inner thoughts of every character really helped with understanding their point of view. So yeah, I liked that, and I gave it 4 stars. And that was the last book I read in May. If you haven't yet, go ahead and watch my June TBR so you can be up to date on what I'm reading in June. And yeah, other than that, I'm going to link everything like I said below, so be sure to check out those resources and subscribe. Like this video if you liked it, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.